Hey, this is Dean from Riverside Guitar School. Let's talk about tuning your guitar. There's 6 strings on this guitar, and the strings are numbered from the thinnest string to the thickest string, 1 through 6. So here's my thinnest string, or my first string, and here's my thickest string, or my 6th string. We're going to start with tuning your first string. Here's my electronic tuner. I'm going to pluck my string. I'm going to give it a nice firm pluck and let the sound ring out. Then the tuner is going to read that note. The first thing you'll want to look at is what letter is showing up on the tuner. The first string should be an E. I see that there is an E on my tuner, so that's my first step. I know I'm good there. After the correct letter is on the tuner, I want to get the lights in the middle. This one has, the light should be in the middle on the top. Right now I see that they're slightly to the left, and they're kind of yellow and red. To the left means that the note is too low or flat in musical terminology. So I want to hear that note go higher, and I should see my lights get into the middle section of the tuner here. Very important to use your ears while tuning and also your eyes. So I'm going to pluck the string, and then while the string is ringing, you'll notice that the whole time I'm tuning, the string will be ringing. While that string is ringing, I'm going to turn my tuning machine and listen so I hear that sound going higher, and watch with my eyes until I see the lights in the middle here. I'm turning the tuning machine just a little bit. I'm keeping that string ringing. I'm turning it just a tiny bit at a time, and I'm hearing the note go higher. And I'm seeing the lights get in the middle. Now that note is exactly in tune. Let's talk about really quickly how to find which tuning machine goes with which string. Or these parts on the back of the headstock are called tuning machines, or sometimes you'll hear them called tuners too. They mean the same thing. If you're having trouble figuring out which one goes with which, I like to just put my finger on the string, run your finger all the way down, and then you'll see where that string goes down and makes contact with a certain tuning machine. So I just used this bottom one that's closest to me for my E string. Let's go on to the second string. If I pluck the note, I'll see a B on my tuner, and that is the note that I want. I want a B for my second string. But I see that the lights are to the right of the middle. So that tells me that the note is too high or sharp. I'm going to want to turn the tuning machine so that I hear the note go lower, and so I see the lights come back into the middle. Again, I'm going to keep the string ringing through the whole thing, and also notice that I'm plucking with my left hand and I'm turning with my, I'm plucking with my right hand and I'm turning with my left. I don't pluck the string and then reach over here. It's important to have one hand for plucking and one hand for tuning so that you can keep that string ringing. I'm turning just a tiny bit at a time, and I hear that note go a little lower, and I see the lights get in the middle of the tuner. I always kind of double check after the lights are there because sometimes it can change a little bit, but I'm satisfied that that is in tune. So we tuned our E note, our B note. Now let's go to the third string and let's see what the tuner says for this one. I see an F, and then I see a sharp sign. That's the musical term for that sign. It also looks like a pound sign or a hashtag, but in music we call that sharp. So this note is F sharp right now. Now I actually want the third string to be on a G note. So what do you do if the tuner's on a completely different note? Well, it's helpful to have some knowledge of how notes work, but as we go forward in the alphabet from F to G, my notes will get higher. So I know that since I'm at an F sharp and I want to be at a G, I'm a little too low. So I'm going to turn that string so I hear the note go higher. And right now, it's showing F sharp and the lights are way over here. What will happen is eventually I'll see a G on my tuner, but the lights will be way over here. So then I'll be on a G note, but it'll be a really low G or flat. So I want to keep going higher until my lights get up here. Let's watch. I'm on F sharp. I'm going to turn it so that I hear the note go higher. Turning a little bit at a time, making sure I keep my string ringing. Now it's flipped over to G. It's kind of going back and forth between G and F sharp because it's right on the line there. But now it's on a G, but it's really flat. So I need to keep going the same way so that I see my lights get in the middle. So I'm going to keep going up. And there, my G note is in tune. I'm going to double check. And that's looking good. So I tuned my third string, my G. The fourth string should be a D note. Let's see what the tuner says. It's showing D, so that's a good thing. But the lights are way to the left, so I know that's too low. I want to hear that note go higher, so it gets up to the center lights of my D note. I'm turning a little bit at a time, making sure I have the string ringing this whole time. Right in the middle, I'll pluck a couple more times to double check, and that's looking good. My D note is in tune. Fifth string should be an A. I see an A on my tuner, so that's good. The lights are to the left, so it's flat. I know I want to go higher to get that note in tune. So we'll keep going up here. Let's go to my sixth string. This one should be an E. Now I'm seeing an F on my tuner. So here's another case where I'm seeing an entirely different letter. F is after E in the alphabet. So in music, F is going to be higher than E. And I'm going to want to come lower so that I go from the note F down to the note E. So I'm going to pluck. I'm going to turn my tuning machine so I hear the note go lower. That time I started turning the wrong way. I heard it go higher, so I'm going to turn it the opposite way. So it's going lower. I'm seeing the lights go to the left of the note. Now it's on E, but the lights are way over here, so I need to keep going lower until the lights are in the center. And the low E is in tune. Now, once you have all your strings in tune, it's always a good idea just to go back and double check, especially if some of your strings were really out of tune, like a couple of mine were. So let's double check. My first string should be E. That's looking good. Second string is B. That looks great. Third string is G. Fourth string is D. Fifth string is A. Looks good. Sixth string is E. Bring it up just a touch. Great. And now my guitar is in tune. To recap, the most important thing you want to think about when tuning your instrument is keep that note ringing. What I hear a lot and hear a lot of people do is pluck their note. They'll look at their tuner. They'll stop the note. And then they'll make an adjustment. But if you adjust the note when you can't hear it, your ear isn't giving you any feedback on how far up or down that note is actually going. You want to get that feedback right away when you're turning your tuning machine. So always keep your note ringing while you're tuning. Thanks and happy tuning.